freedom if you're on the ground. We want to hear them right now, all listeners.
Okay, when it comes to jets or jet engines, we think of aircraft. Not in this case. You're going to meet somebody that's really, really dynamic. Josette Roach, is that correct?
Josette Roach.
Okay. How long have you been involved with this type of exhibition racing?
So I've been around jet racing for about 5 years now, and I just got licensed back in 2021. This is my second year as primary driver for the House of Color team, so it's an honor truly to be repping such an amazing, legendary paint brand.
I was just going to say legendary, of course, House of Color. I mean,
yes,
yeah.
Everybody knows the name, and I'm sure many cars out here have House of Color.
The proof's in the pudding
on them.
out there.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, it truly is the best stuff to use.
You got to just take me through it for the fans at home. What is it like to pilot this, say, even the first 500 feet?
It's an adrenaline rush. You know, the way to describe it that I can fathom and make it into words is it's like being shot out of a cannon. Okay. You know, the G-force that you feel, it's about 3 G's on launch, 5 G's down at the finish line, and then when you pull that parachute, there's an 8 G transition, so you're going from positive G's to negative G's, and I mean, it's eyeballs in to eyeballs out.
Well, now, when you pull the laundry on the top end, what's your MPH?
So today, or yesterday, we went 266 miles per hour. I went 5.94 seconds. And the fastest I've ever gone is 281 miles per hour at 5.72 seconds.
Okay, I've got to ask, when you pull the laundry, does the front end get a little unsettled at times?
No, so with jet cars, so I've driven other cars. I started out in junior dragsters and kind of worked my way into faster cars. This car, it's totally a different animal. It's very smooth down the track, where the other cars, they kind of feel a little violent, even though they were always slower than this, of course. You know, it's a nice smooth all the way down. When you pull that parachute, you can tell in the video, so we have on-car footage, we sometimes might have a little bit of a jump, but
the G-force is alone.
Yep, but you don't really feel too much of that. You just pull your parachute, you're kind of launched forward, but that is the best, you know, feeling of being thrown forward ever.
Okay, kudos to you being a great driver and pilot to this thing, and also the design of your race car and the frame and the chassis and all that.
We have the best team out there. In my opinion, you know, we have tons of Florida Tech student engineers that are digitally twinning these cars. You know, they're reverse engineering, so we start our cars in the digital Siemens software. We do analysis, we make design changes, and then we have this new Hive technology, so highly immersive virtual environment. It's like
that's something I never heard of.
Yeah, it's like an augmented or virtual reality. So we'll take that digital model. It's something straight out of what you would see for the movies.
This is so sci-fi. I can't believe it.
So if you've ever seen Avatar, you've seen that they get into the suits and they have these little beads on them. So basically, we'll take that digital model. You'll have whoever, it could be the driver, it could be maybe it's our crew chief trying to work on the model, or it could be, you know, whoever's going to be touching the car. For maintenance and manufacturing purposes, we want to make sure that that car that we're going to be building works before we spend the money.
Look at the engineering and the money.
Yep. So they're, you know, they kind of look like they're working on the car when they're in their little augmented virtual reality, and then if it doesn't work, they go back to the drawing board and make some new models or make some adjustments. If it works, we fabricate.
I was going to say that is the most creative design model and the most cost-effective, I might add, too, in the long run. So anyhow, we're running down to the end of the season. What is this sort of the last couple of events for you? Or?
So for us, exhibition jet drag racing, we're able to pick and choose where we want to go. So we pretty much race 11 months out of the year.
Wow.
Sometimes
I thought you were going to get 3 months off somewhere.
Sometimes we start in January, sometimes we start in February, sometimes in March. It really just depends on what kind of events we end up booking. And then we usually go through December. We actually have an event. We have an event December 22nd. I forget that there's a mic here.
Her and Santa Claus will be.
Yeah. So they're going to be doing a Christmas tree event.
Hey, that's so cool.
Yeah,
what part of the country?
That's going to be down in Florida for.
I should have known that one.
Yep. For the December events, probably Florida.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
But race all over the country. We've
Yeah.
gone as far north as up into Canada, out west to Washington State. You know, every year we kind of get to pick and choose where we want to go, because
Yeah.
exhibition, we can follow the NMRA and NMCA wherever you guys go, and it's a lot of fun.
A lot of your fans are expecting to see you, you know.
Yeah. And Bowling Green, this has been an amazing event. I've only been to this racetrack one other time,
Okay.
a few years back, so this was my first time getting to actually drive down the drag strip, and it's a beautiful racetrack.
Everybody agrees that it's an old school, quaint racetrack.
Yep. I love the grassroots racing.
There
That's
you
for
go.
sure.
That's-
You know,
that's what everybody says.
I grew up in it, so that's my favorite kind of.
I got to have one last question. What part of the country did you originally hail from?
I come from St. Augustine, Florida, so
Very old city too.
my
yeah.
the home track that I grew up going to was Gainesville Raceway. So
Okay,
Gator
that's all
Nationals
about
was
Okay. Big Daddy Don Garlitz, if you're listening, this is
Yep.
a protege. Okay.
I've been to his museum, and it.
Really?
I've been to it several times. I feel like there's new stuff every time.
Yeah, he's
It's amazing.
fantastic. I had the opportunity to actually a few years ago interview him, and it was just, I was starstruck from it. Even though he's been out retired for a while, he's
Yep.
just such a legend. He did so much for the sport.
Yep,
you know.
he's done so much,
You know.
It is a museum. If you haven't been, you have to
No,
go.
I haven't, but
Oh, yeah.
we will.
No, you
We
have to
will
go.
work, right, boss? We're going to work our way down there, right? Okay. Listen, I'm going to grab your hand. Best of luck. It was great to meet you, and good luck today and in your future endeavors, of course.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, stay with us. We got more coming right here at NMRA and the Holly deal. You don't want to miss it.
You interviewed Josette.
And
heard
I
her.
complimented her on, she just kicked it right out, and she gave you kudos of that's my teacher right there.
Yep.
So I thought, okay, we interview the student, we got to interview the
teacher,
So for folks at home, you don't need an introduction. We're gonna do an introduction anyhow. If you saw on the sign, sponsored by Florida Tech, Elaine Larson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. This is so good to be back to Beach Bend Motorsports Park. We love this place. I cut my roots driving jet cars here at this racetrack.
Wow.
And you know, it always makes you feel like home when people come up with one of your original jet car shirts on and they remember who you are. So it's pretty cool.
That is, and I imagine you're still signing some of that stuff.
Oh yeah, yep. I've been racing jets for 21 years, but been drag racing for 31. So this is
blown
in my
away.
blood. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I love coming out here, and this Ford Fest event with the NMRA is probably one of the coolest events that they have here. So
It is, and exhibition vehicles like yourself, the jet cars, always looked for and advertised and so on and so forth. I was surprised in the interview I just did with Josette. You guys are busy pretty much 11 months out of the year.
we really are. We start racing because we're from Florida,
Right,
and so
okay.
we start racing because the weather's always beautiful there.
Beautiful, yeah.
But then when it starts getting a little warm, like it is today here in Kentucky,
Good example.
we start heading north. And
Yeah.
so then when it starts cooling off, we'll head back
Head
south.
back
and
home,
so the last
yeah.
races of the year, we'll actually race December 22nd, and then we
That's
kick
what she
back
was
off.
telling
Yep,
me. Okay,
yep.
yeah,
We're gonna
that's-
blow some Christmas trees up.
That's what she said the same thing. You guys they're gonna light up the trees, literally light up the trees for the holidays. But anyhow, your relationship with Florida Tech, how long has that been going on?
Gosh, we've been with Florida Tech. It'll be 10 years coming up
Wow.
in 2024. So I'm really proud of
Stone
it.
City
And
sponsor, yeah.
we've had this relationship, and it's grown so large. We have 18 interns that are working for us right now at the
Wow.
shop. And I love it because we're taking what they learn in the classroom and giving them a hands-on project that's real, that lives, that breathes
That
fire.
comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's not just theory. So when these kids go to look for a job, we have a 100% placement rate because they get the education at Florida Tech,
Absolutely.
they get the hands-on at Larson Motorsports, and then they go out to hopefully build more, better, faster race cars than I'll ever have.
You got it. And the technical field, always looking for talented people.
Absolutely.
Don't count it out if you got an inkling to go that way. Listen, I'm going to let you go because you got oodles of fans around you. I'm going to grab a hand. Thank you so much for stepping up, and
Yep.
it was just a pleasure to talk to you.
No, we had a good time. I'm glad that you got to meet my girl Josette.
You got-
Really is. She's gonna be better than me, like real soon.
We'll see.
Not yet though.
We'll
Not
see.
today.
Not
This
today.
girl's she's still got some.
It's got a good punch after 30 years.
Don't you count me out yet.
All right, take care. Okay, it's been a real treat for us always when we run into the very, very famous Roush family and as well as Don Ball's family. It is beyond reproach. racing is synonymous with these people, and we caught up with some very important players. Right now, we're going to get them on camera. First of all, we have Susan Roush. Is it McClendon?
McClendon, very close.
Fine Irish name, no doubt. Right?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, I'm going to jump to this side real fast. We have Cameron, but Cameron, you got a very special last name. Go for it.
Bowles.
Okay. And that's the racing legacy of your father and your grandfather?
Yeah, Don and Donnie Bowles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back, how many years?
My granddad started racing back in the 70s sometime, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, because your dad, I'm going to go back and forth. Because
That's when
your
they
dad,
met.
Jack, was
back in the early 70s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Don and my dad were very, very good friends.
I know your dad had some track nicknames, but
Yeah.
we can't say unknown. Your grandpa, did he have some? Do you recall?
They always called him Coal Digger. That's how he
Okay.
got the name for the cars. Whenever he'd be leaving the coal mines, all the miners would holler at him over the radio and tell him, "Good luck, Coal Digger."
There you go. That's again. This is the drama. This is the story behind drag racing that cannot be unparalleled. So that brings us 2023. I'm going to go back and forth again. What sort of season has it been for you? Have you traveled a lot?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a gypsy life. It really is. And my daughter, Josie,
right.
she started in the Hemi Shootout this year, and
Okay,
she ran
because I know
full
she's
season
a little bit
back.
about Mopars there, isn't she?
Yeah, she has a Challenger.
Okay.
And well, my father's very first drag race car was a 1954 Dodge with a Hemi.
You know, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's a bit of trivia. That's why it's always important to talk to you guys. Okay.
So
How's she doing?
she won her index, her class, 4 out of 6 races.
Wow.
So yeah, she's done tremendous this year.
Hats off. That was fantastic, especially so newly out there. Although she's in a legacy family, but still, it takes the skill in the driving.
Yeah, well, she's very passionate, and
Yes.
she's a true competitor.
I
So
was just gonna say we did talk to her last year, and she seemed like a very competitive spirit and heart.
she is. Yes,
So,
very much.
unlike
so.
someone else we know. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know where she got it from. Hey, I'm going to jump over to Cameron real fast. I understand you're piloting the white Mustang this year. What's the deal on it?
Yeah, I started running on Dad's car this year. I was waiting on a motor for my Maverick and my Mustang, the N810.5 car, running NMCA.
Okay.
And I got them back, but I took Dad's car out for the first race. For me, was at St. Louis, and I won the championship, which was actually right after, or won the race. Sorry, I said championship, but which it was very special for all of us because it was right after my granddad had passed away.
Yeah, my heart goes out to you guys for that, and he would have loved. He was probably looking down on you all. So.
I showed up at the track. I told everybody, I said, I'm winning this race one way or another. And I had the man upstairs helping me.
Got it. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, whenever the yellow Maverick's around, that's sort of like a crowd favorite. It has such historical significance.
Oh yeah, I'll have it back out next year. I'm gonna make some changes to it, some upgrades.
Okay.
I'll have it out for NMRA Open Comp, and then I'm gonna have the 92 Mustang out for N810.5 and NMCA.
Okay, terrific. I'm going to let you guys go, and last thing I'm going to say is I really, she showed me some pictures of a Cougar that is just, it's in the works. I hope to see that car someday.
Yes, we're going to do everything we can to get it on the track for next year.
Okay. Both of you, thank you so much for stepping up. It means so much to AC Variety that you spend the time to talk to us and to epitomize what racing's all about. So stay with us. We got more coming from NMRA right here in Bowling Green, if you can hear me over those cars. Okay, stay with us. Are we rolling? What's going on? Hey, you were asking earlier about what's the easiest way to put a new exhaust system on or change shocks or do any kind of undercarriage work. Did you find the answer to that?
I believe so. What do we have here, James? We go on a right angle, 90 degrees almost.
Let's let the camera take a look at this. If you can't find it underneath your car with this device, you're not going to find it. Okay, we're walking through the pits, and one of the great things at NMRA, especially this Ford event, is when you see some beautiful classic Ford muscle cars through the years. 60s and 70s era were just picturesque of that and power and performance. We ran into my friend Mark now. Mark, what's your last name?
Schiffner.
Schiffner. Okay, I saw it on the door, but I didn't want to accidentally mispronounce it.
Sure.
How long have you had this awesome Torino?
I bought it in 1985 when I was 16
Wow.
years old.
Wow, this is the stories I love. Okay, take me through the drivetrain.
It's a Stroker 460 that we
All
put a
right.
4.5-inch crank in it. It's a 30 over, so it's a 545.
Wow.
Put AFR 280 heads on it, solid roller cam with AFR intake, Holley 1100 Dominator on it, standard hooker headers. Probably makes somewhere in the high 6s, low 7s for horsepower.
Okay.
Pump gas 91.
You took my next question. I'm thinking, what kind of octane does this thing run on? But that's interesting. Okay. How tall of a gear you got in the back end? Is it like a Ford 9-inch
Ford 9-inch.
housing? Okay.
Yeah, original rear end in it. Daytona pinion end case rear end with 350 gears.
Wow, that's you got almost like a little
Street car.
street strip.
It is
Yeah.
we drive it on the street too.
Okay, that is good because that tells me you totally enjoy this thing, and not to
I love
mention
it.
that I can think of some cruise nights you showed up in, and the area I come from, it's like whoa.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Anyhow, love the color blue. Was that the original color, and is that a Ford color?
That is Ford Grabber Blue.
Okay,
It's actually
that's what I thought.
2010 Mustang version now, but Torinos did have Grabber Blue on them as well.
Okay, again,
This is not the original to this car. This
Okay.
was originally medium metallic blue.
Okay. I remember these cars. I remember some kind of an optional reflective stripe that was on
Yep,
the side.
the laser stripe.
The laser stripe.
That
and-
came on the Cobras in 71, not in 70. You couldn't get
Okay,
it.
you couldn't get
The
it.
GTs
Okay.
had it in 70 though.
Okay. I just remember a friend of mine that had one of those. It was a powder blue,
Yep.
and then it had that.
I've got a 71 in powder blue, in that
Do you really?
pastel blue.
That
yep.
was a beautiful color
It's
blue.
almost white, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just enough blue in it, especially when the light hits it.
Right.
But it's funny, everybody sees this color and they walk over, but everybody goes, "Oh yeah, that's a Mustang color," and it's like, yeah, okay, but it's really Grabber blue, right?
Grabber blue, yeah.
So anyhow, this takes us to your doing stuff with NMRA and meets and stuff like that. How has this season been for you? And as we're wrapping it up, and
This is actually our first meet this year. We
Wow.
come down from Minnesota just to do the All Ford Finals. and-
okay, boy, I'm really impressed. We're from Illinois, so it's
Okay.
like
It's a haul.
it's a haul. Yeah, I mean, even more for a haul for you guys, of
Right,
course. But,
right.
All right, what part? Northern Minnesota? Or?
Central.
Okay, that's
we're
cool.
Up by Fargo, Moorhead, in that area.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, at this point, I'm going to grab a hand and thank you so much for stepping up. You saw us looking at the car and the hospitality. Must be that Minnesota hospitality,
Yeah,
right, guys?
Minnesota nice.
Minnesota nice, that's it. Okay.
Very
To
good.
Illinois guys, too. That was pretty good. You
Yeah,
know? We're not the most loved people in the
Yeah,
world.
we're going to root for the Blackhawks anytime soon, but
I didn't even want to go there in this interview, but, you know. Okay, hockey, you know what okay, you know. Anyhow, listen, the rest of the season, which is almost over, but enjoy this car every time you bring it out. It's a looker. Enjoy your day racing. And by the way, what kind of ETs were you turning today?
I ran a 1034.
Wow, very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Mark, take care. It was a pleasure to meet you. You too. All right.
Thanks for stopping by.
Stay with us. We got more coming right here from NMRA in the pits. Okay, again, that's half of the fun is walking through the pits, especially at an NMRA event, Ford caliber like this one is. And we walked across another great car, and they were just doing some tuning strategy. They had the laptop out, and that's so much of this, what goes on in the pits. And we're going to get the owner-operator's name right now, and your name is?
Travis Burkett.
Travis. I called you an owner-operator, but I don't know if you're a driver. You're driving for an owner. I'm not sure, but
I am owner, operator,
all around guy.
everything. The only thing I do not do is I don't tune the car. I'm learning.
Okay.
A good friend of mine is unfortunately he couldn't be here this weekend. His wife had COVID, and we hope she gets better.
Okay, shout out to God bless you, hope you get better.
Bryden Friedentag.
Okay.
Freezy. Has been tuning this car for at least 4 years now, and he's a great guy. His friend Mike Curcio built a motor and this thing is making some power. We're happy with the way the car's performing. We're having some issues, but we're getting that worked out. And he's in New Jersey right now, looking over some data from the last Q3, trying to see if we can pick up somewhere.
Okay.
But overall, we're happy.
It's amazing how he can be at a remote area and look at the data and.
Yeah, with the technology these days,
it's just baffling sometimes.
Yeah, I always get a kick out of it when we pull data after a run and he's over there, you know, doing his thing. I see the mouse moving on the computer and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Just watch." I just watch and act like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good move.
I play it really good.
Yeah, why not? You know, I would do the same. Can you take me to the drivetrain, because it's such an interesting setup, and then also tell me what kind of VTs we turn here.
So it's a 350 cubic inch Mike Curcio built motor. It's got an F1A 94 Pro Charger, and we still run a 2-speed Power Glide.
Okay.
And the reason, we are a very, very, very low budget team. It just consists of me, Brian Friedentag, Eric Williams. He sets the suspension up from Performance. I'm drawing a blank on his company, but and then my wife.
You can jump in if you want.
My wife, Angela Burkett, and then my two.
Angela, anytime.
My two boys, Maverick, he's here today with us.
Great.
He's 1.5.
Wow.
And then my oldest son, I got to respect his decision. He wanted to stay home and don't miss school. So
I got to respect that.
Yeah. So he's 11, and he's usually my big helper for the weekend. But it's basically home built. I had a lot of help with certain aspects like the motor. Storm and Norman Cages did the roll cage for me.
Just going to ask, what modifications did the frame and cage and chassis?
Yeah, we did a 25.3. We went above what we needed.
Good move.
I am big on safety, so
yes, absolutely.
A year ago, I wrecked the car.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I hit the driver's side.
Did you fare okay through this?
Yeah, and the only reason why I walked away with just a couple bruises was the safety equipment. Hans device. I don't care what kind of car it is, how fast you're going. If you're willing to go down the track, you need to put all the safety equipment you can in it.
Yeah.
I do that because they need me to walk through the front door after I'm done racing.
Right.
My family needs me, so
your boys need you, wife needs you.
I got this weekend Autumn I can't pronounce her name, Schwabe.
Okay.
The young lady that wrecked her 860 car in North Carolina.
Heard about that, yeah.
So she's been advocate on safety, and her family's here helping me this weekend as well.
Talk about an effort.
Yeah, so. But we did quite a few changes since the wreck. My cousins, Webb and Sons, fixed the whole body.
Okay.
We put 12-inch rims on it I think it gives us some stability versus a 10-inch.
Okay.
But as far as ETs,
we're in transition right now.
Yeah.
Right?
So the fastest we've ever been was a 77 a year ago, two years ago, before the wreck in Martin, Michigan, and then I wrecked after that, and then I finally got the car out at Yellow Bullet, and with Brian and Eric in person with hands on the car, we were able to go 468 at 154 in 2 days.
Wow.
Versus and what we've been struggling with for 3 years.
Yeah.
So having those guys in person made a tremendous difference. Like I said, Brian is a mastermind with this. Mm-hmm. He is by far, I give him 100% of the credit. I drive. That's all I do. I drive and I wrench what I can. Mm-hmm. Other than that, Brian is the reason why this car is doing what it's doing. Wow. So we're struggling here today a little bit with the track, and the car's acting a little funny right now, but I got all my faith and trust in Brian to figure it out and make it go down, and I'm hoping we can go some rounds.
There is some unusual humid conditions going on around here right now. I don't know if that plays into this much.
Yes, with the blower car, we almost need perfect conditions, you know, like what they call boost weather, like that fall time, 65, 70 degrees, no humidity, no water.
Yes, you're right.
We need
cool
that. And we, with these blower cars, we got to get after it at the 60. If we don't, then we don't have a shot. So we really need to get that 60, and that's what we're working on. Our top end is good. We're making steam up there, but we're trying to reel that 60 in.
Yeah.
So right now we're struggling a little bit, but like I said, I got all the faith and trust in Brian to get it done. I really do.
Yeah, it sounds like you got the belief in the team behind you.
Yeah, I got Joe Cram lining me up. Yeah, he's doing a great job. It's good. It's always good to have someone on the other side of the headphones talking to you, calming you down, and making, some people, they might be serious on it, but me and him, we're kind of cracking jokes, just trying to lighten the mood. Have fun.
Yeah.
If you're not having fun, don't be out here.
Yeah.
I'm all about having fun because this is what it's about.
Yeah.
I enjoy the memories I'm making with all my friends and family. So.
Well, at this point, I'm going to thank you so much. We came up to look at the car because we saw you guys having a data huddle with the laptop, and I just thought that is so interesting aspect of this level of racing. And then you turned out to be such a nice gentleman, racer, professional driver to speak to us. I'm going to grab a hand.
Well, with these, one thing I try to do every race is I usually find a child, to walk by, a spectator, and I'll let them sit in the car.
Wow. Okay.
Because I know what it's like. When I first came to, this was my first event as a spectator.
All right.
4 years ago, and Brian Mitchell and Adam Arnett, I talked to them, and them running Renegade, I always felt like this class here would be still, I feel like, a blue collar, hard-working man's class.
Okay.
Versus pro mod or something like that. Yeah, this class here is where I feel like I fit in the best because I work hard. I'm dedicated, and I spoke with Brian Mitchell and Adam Arnett 4 or 5 years ago about the class, and I enjoyed it. I liked it. I was fast, and it wasn't above. I didn't feel like my knowledge to compete. So
I think that shows through even with when you line up for a run. There's a fan base that can associate with you.
I told Joe. I told Joe in Q3 that I got on the radio and said, Joe, this will be the first time that I actually made it to Q3 without breaking at this race, and the fans are packed. I said, the nerves. I'm like, this is awesome.
Palpitation.
Yeah, it's great. I love the feeling. I can't wait for round 1 tonight. I can't. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to get back after it and see what we can do.
All right. And at that, I'm going to grab a hand again.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Be blessed, you and your family, and good luck racing.
Thank you.
awesome jet run, and we're up mingling with folks in the stands. We ran into 2 folks. They're both redheads. I believe it or not, I was born with red hair, but look what happened. Wait, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyhow, your name, sir?
My name's Cameron.
And?
Maddie.
Okay, so what you all think of the run and the fact that there's two women driving those cars?
That's really good. That's what we need around.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
No, not at all. Not at
Was it? How were your ears?
It's a little muffled right now, but
yeah. From where we were in the infield when they went by, you get a blast of hot air.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a hot dog hanging out there, I'd be ready to eat it. You know?
That's what we should have done then.
Anyhow, thanks so much. Where are you folks from?
We're from Boston Park, Kentucky.
Excellent. Same town?
Yeah.
Y'all together then, right?
Yeah, we're brother and sister.
Okay. I should have known that. All right. Thanks so much for coming up and enjoying the day. And your thoughts on the jet dragsters?
They were awesome. I'd love to see them again.
All right. 4 o'clock, I think. So we'll see what happens. All right. Be blessed, folks. We'll talk to you. Thank you. Okay, folks at home, we're going to do a public service announcement. Do you ever wonder when it's time to rotate your tires? We just have an average Ford truck here that I'm standing between the front and the rear wheels. Relatively short wheelbase. Matter of fact, it's shoulder to shoulder right now, to be exact. But anyhow, I'm looking at these Firestones, and I think it's time for a tire rotation. And I quit counting at about 100 lug nuts in there, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take to break down this tire. But anyhow, if you ever get a chance to ride in a real nice Ford pickup, this is the one. I think you might know it. Let's take a look at the name on the door up there. Okay, we just ran across at the car show. This is our Sunday car show coverage, and I saw this truck yesterday. I couldn't get to the owners, but it is gorgeous. We're going to find out more about it. It's an F100 50 series. Here we go. Your name, sir?
Brent Poole.
Brent Poole, and who's your company? You are?
His wife, Mary Poole.
Okay. I see. Got Mary setting things up, so we're going to run back to the truck right quick. All righty. I just got blown away when I first saw you pull in yesterday. Not only the sound of this truck, I was curious about the drivetrain, but let's start there. What do you have under the hood?
It's got a 429, tunnel ram 2.4s.
Oh, Lord.
640-inch hydraulic roller Schneider cam. It's got an automatic transmission.
Okay.
And 3,500 stall torque converter.
Okay. God damn.
9-inch Ford and 411 gears.
Wow, that has got to like throw you back in the seat. I mean, big time.
Yeah, it's fun to drive.
To me, it's like it's a going show truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
you got it set up like a race vehicle, but you know.
Well, I really didn't aim to do that. I just kind of did it put things on that I like.
The way you
know?
wanted. Okay, I got to give you credit for that.
Yeah, and that's it turned out the way it is.
It is gorgeous. Now,
thank you.
I sometimes get the years confused on. Is this a 56?
It is a 55.
55. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Again, your attention to detail to keep that 55 character going. The Ford taillights with the embellished with the Ford badging, the chrome badging, it is so cool.
Yeah,
the bumper, you know, you have just enough chrome on this to kick it, you know.
Yeah.
And the bed, what you did back there. Yeah. Now I got to ask you this right quick. Up here, was this a hole at one time, or did you have it covered?
It used to be. Marquet is the company I bought the bed kit from.
Okay.
And they offered that as an option.
Okay.
Already welded on. And
it looks great. And I've never seen it like that before. And what's interesting is I've seen all kind of treatment of that hole. I've even seen people sink little LEDs up in there, you know, and stuff. Yeah. But this is by far the best I've seen of
Thank you.
how you handle it and
Thank you.
everything.
I've also 45 cut the bottom of the snake pockets.
Okay.
Filled those. And then used the roll pan with a bumper. They usually use a roll pan without a bumper.
You're right.
But
and
I wanted that
kind of finishes it off, wrapping around the bottom.
Yeah. Usually there's a big gap in there.
Yeah, you're right. You know, again, to the untrained eye, you know. Now, what made you decide on those wheels? And they're really awesome deep dish in the back.
When I first built this truck, it had a different set of wheels on it.
Okay.
And then I was looking at pictures like I do on the internet, and I ran across these. They're made by Coy's.
Really?
And
okay.
I just thought, I think I need those, you know. So,
oh yeah, I mean,
it really changed. It had 15-inch, it was Pro Street, had 15 by 14-inch wheels on the back.
Right.
Big, thick tires, and this really just updated the look to it.
Okay, does the hookup any different with those on there? Or?
It bites a little bit better, but it still won't hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I imagine.
Yeah. But this is an old build.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to ask you that. How long have you had it?
Yeah. I bought the truck in 1994.
All right.
And it was an off and on project for 10 years.
And I can see how that can happen.
Yeah. And it was painted in 2004.
Wow.
The paint job's 19 years old. Now I did, however, I just replaced the interior in it last week. But the interior was getting a little wear. Sure. But the paint's held up extremely well.
Okay.
It's a house of color candy branding on it.
Okay, I was just gonna say candy brand. Yeah. Do you remember what house of color, what base color they used underneath that candy?
Yes, it was gold.
That's what I thought. I was gonna. Yes. A lot of folks always talk about white or silver, but something about candy brandy or even a basic red candy when you have gold underneath it.
Yeah.
Look at the sun hitting that fender.
Oh yeah. I think it makes it look a little rich.
Oh, it's deep and rich. Totally. Anyhow, one last question before I walk away. I wanted to look at the running board and anything different you had there.
Yeah, those running boards are actually fiberglass.
Okay.
And that's folded in there. That's how it looks.
Okay. Now you have some kind of framework structure underneath the fiberglass, obviously.
Just the stock running board brackets that bolts into the fender like stock, but they're really thick.
Okay.
They'll hold your weight and everything. Yeah.
That's what my next question was, but I'll tell you, they look so beefy.
Yeah, of course I don't step.
Yeah, that's a momentary.
Yes.
It's a momentary pitch to get in. So
I got the front end. The front end's a one-piece fiberglass.
Okay.
And them and the running boards come from a company called Fairlane Company.
Okay.
Which I think they're out of business now.
Right. You obviously on this build did your research. Who's got what?
Yeah.
You kind of figured out what I want to order.
I dreamed for a long time.
Yeah.
Before I got started on it.
And I'm looking at a dream come true.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Really.
And let's just walk to the front right quick too, because I wanted to see what you did with the grill again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm taking up so much time. Folks,
him
and the wife just pulled in. We grabbed them right away as they're setting up their display. But okay, I just like the fact that the chroming on the grill. Instead of it being candy like the rest of the vehicle. It just, again, I mentioned it when we were in the back of the truck, your chrome accent is just enough. It's not off the top and it's not under.
Yeah, thank you.
It's like perfect.
Thank you.
So,
I've always been a fan of chrome, but I don't like overdoing it.
Yeah, I see a lot of, especially when you get back, whether it's a vehicle or a truck in the 50s era stuff, there's so much stainless.
Right.
Everywhere.
Right.
And it's like you got to make a decision on the build, how much you retain, how much you don't.
Exactly, yeah.
So, anyhow, at this point, I'm going to grab a hand and thank you so much for stepping up. We caught you cold, and like I said, I saw the vehicle yesterday, and it was super crowded yesterday in the show, and I was happy and glad that we got to you today.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, listen, enjoy this truck every time you bring it. It sounds like you and the wife always do, and it's a showstopper.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, take care now. We got more coming from the car show. Okay, we just ran across some old friends here, and if you saw the Thunderbolt just now, that's our old friends, the owner, Brad here. Buddy, he's leaning on a very, very nice looking 63. We got to talk to him about it. Hey, how you doing, first of all?
Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely,
it's
bro.
been exactly a year. Something like that.
It sure has. It's been exactly a year.
Pretty much,
Yeah, and Yeah, doesn't he look a year younger, doesn't he?
I get better looking every morning, man. Are you kidding me?
He woke up this morning. He was ready.
No, this is a.
No, tell me about it.
Well, it's 1963 Ford 300, which is a baseline Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's basically a poor man's Galaxy.
You got it.
But they actually sold these cars to taxi fleets in four-door form and also police agencies.
Police package.
If you see Andy Griffith's show, that's a 63 flatback, which, by the way, is only the beginning of 63 when they built the flatback, they call it, box back, whatever.
Right.
Then they converted to the fastback, so to speak, for NASCAR.
Right.
And this particular car, I bought it in Mississippi. It's got a 427 cross-bolt in it.
Okay.
Pretty much factory. It's got a...
I noticed you got that Home and Moody valve covers on there.
Yep, it's got some Home and Moody valve cover trim, air cleaner. Got the factory cast iron headers, which are quite rare.
Wow, you're not kidding.
And anyway, the interior I thought was cool as could be. The interior was finished and it was painted when I got it. But I lowered it 2.5 inches with Fat Man Fabrication products, including their drop spindles and control arms. A bigger sway bar up front. Out back, I got a triangulated 4-link with adjustable coilovers.
In that era of cars, whether it was Ford or even GM, the handling was horrible.
Atrocious.
Horrible. It was a rock and roll on a hard turn.
It had skinnies on it. I still got the original Steelies with the hubcaps, the little baby caps.
Some folks call them the dog dishes. You know?
Dog dishes, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I couldn't deal with it the way it handled.
No, and to tell you the truth, well, let's go down the side of the car a little bit, because your selection of wheels are really, really cool, and then with the red line tires, it gives it a little flavor there.
Well, I wanted to tie in the red interior with the red walls. Yep, and I thought the salt flat kind of looking wheels was a nice touch to it. But it's a two-door post car,
right?
Which makes it extremely rare. They didn't sell a lot of them. It's got a Borg Warner T10 4-speed.
Wow, how did you fit that baby in there? With an adapter or something on the back of the trans?
They were available in this car. Just remember, this is a Galaxy.
That's right.
So,
that's right. It's a full-size body car.
So it was quite easy.
Okay. As long as we're facing the interior, it looks like baseline interior, but your selection of redoing it is perfect.
It's stock seat covers, door panels. It's got this was kind of, the guy from Mississippi wanted kind of a lightweight clone look to it.
Yeah.
And so we got a radio delete, we got a clock delete, my hand turn, engine turn, the panels there to create switch panels.
Yeah.
I put all my mechanical gauges underneath the speaker grill.
I just saw that.
That's the speaker grill. So I built that insert, and I just got magnetic strips with adhesive that keeps it down.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'd like to be able to make it go up and down.
That's what I thought, but to tell you the truth, you're clever to use the space right now.
Yeah.
And but the thing I got to say is, it still has the 63 flavor, but you've upgraded it to your performance
That's
package.
what I really wanted. I wanted that old school vibe to it. It's got Home and Moody center cluster in it, and those are all my electrical gauges.
All right.
Volt on the left, tack course middle, and then I got the oil temperature on the right just because I needed an electric gauge.
How was the glass all the way around?
A little scratched. Original glass, and I'd like to redo that someday. One of the cool aspects of this car also, this is an Arizona car, doing my research.
Okay.
It was purchased in Arizona, and this is the original trunk mat.
Wow.
Notice it's the...
I recognize and remember the pattern that's on the face of that mat.
And it's got the wool look, what's it called? Something hair?
Oh, yes, mohair?
Mohair, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's sewn. The seams are actually sewn.
You're right. Look at that.
Back then, that's how they did them.
To get it into the back of the fender well areas.
But all the interior panels are in great shape. There's absolutely not a bit of rust on this car. I went ahead and cleaned up the frame and grounded down and filled all the channels with the frame goes together.
Was there any bad spots on the frame?
No.
Wow. No. Hats off
tight
there.
As can be, man.
Okay, here's something I'm impressed with. Those backup lights on this package on the 300. Did you add those, or did that?
They were there.
Okay, that happened.
They were there.
This is another rarity.
That might be the only thing this thing has that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, high tech, so to speak.
Yeah, and
it's got no air. It's got heat, but no air.
Okay.
No power steering, no power brakes. I do have a Willwood, of course, master cylinder, manual brakes, but thing stops like a champ.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, you can just sit back.
Oh yeah.
I could drive this to Chicago.
Again,
I'm not even thinking about it.
I'm standing back here, and you forget the actual width on these full-size Fords back in the day, and it's like, wow, you know.
Yeah, as I say, this is a lot of wheel estate.
Yeah, really.
A lot of wheel estate, but it's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed building it, and it's been a big hit. People like it more than the Bolt, believe it or not.
Really?
Well, it's about a 50-50.
The Bolt is a eye-catching, dead-ass stop.
It's an
when somebody
icon.
sees
It's an
it.
icon.
And I'm sure how many times, and we talked about this last year, how many times somebody come up to you, okay, is it a genuine? Is it a, you know, like they're looking all over for like a telltale sign. Is this, was this a build or was this a preserve? You know. I got to ask you about. Really impressed with the chrome. Was that? Did you have to bring that back, or is that re-chromed? Or
The bumpers were finished when I got it.
Okay.
So that's the way it came.
Okay.
But I put a custom fuel system in it.
Yeah, I'm looking at
lines all the way
your
up.
apparatus is below the license plate.
Yeah, I did all custom.
And
I put a sump on
anodized lines.
I
and
put a
stuff?
sump on the stock fuel tank.
Okay.
And then I took 2 into 1.
Okay.
Basically, and I pre-filter, and then a Holly black pump, and then I got an Earl's after filter. So make sure everything's real clean going up.
Okay.
Feed
Now
the
will
engine.
this run on 93 octane or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably 10.5 to 1. 10 to 10.5.
Okay, that's not.
You know, you don't want to turn the crank timing way up, but I mix a little race fuel with it.
Okay.
I kind of think it smells good. I call it
Clears your sinuses,
engine perfume or cologne in my case.
But go ahead.
It's a lot like me. It's I think we talked last year. Cantankerous, little grumpy. Old.
He gets better with age too, though.
Old, but still pretty good looking, and it leaks a little bit.
You know, it's funny. I'm back here. I'm looking at it because I'm looking at the.
Rear main
all
seal.
the time. Looking at the taillights, and of course we said there was an upgrade on it, but my mind is so much locked in on the Galaxy, all the trim that used to be across here on a Galaxy.
It's a plain Jane.
It's so plain Jane.
I thought it was cool and very unique.
Yeah, very unique.
I was thinking about adding the stainless strip below the line, just down here.
That might not. Okay.
Just a little accent.
I like the fact that there's no stainless around the windows. You know, it kind of looks better like that. And I like the fact that this is here. It's just enough. It's not, you know.
Wheels are dirty.
Well, you got dust going on in here.
But I drive it, man. It's fun.
And I know that as long as our camera's in there real fast, so if I'm not mistaken, on the 300, you didn't get carpeting with that car, right?
Correct.
You got a vinyl look-alike.
That is just a vinyl floor mat that was factory on the 300.
Okay.
And I got a wheel chalk sitting back there. You never know where you're
never know.
Yeah, that's what you do with old cars. You learn.
Yeah, through the years of experience, right?
Well, the emergency brakes aren't the best on this.
Yeah. Anyhow, hey, at this point, I want to thank you so much for stepping up. It was great to see you again today. It was quite a nice surprise.
Absolutely.
And we had heard about this car last year, and boy, you knocked me out with it. It just it came to fruition, and it's here. So I know folks are enjoying it just as much as they like that Thunderbolt right next door to you. So anyhow, I'm gonna grab a hand at this point.
You got it. Appreciate it, guys.
Nice to see you again. God bless. Take care now.
Y'all take care.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming by.
Goes 1063, 100 above, but he was double low.
Again, walking this car show is too exciting. If you're a Ford fan, it's off the top. If you like Mustangs, this is your place. This 05 Mustang just knocked me out. We just caught up with the owner. We're going to find out his name. And your name, sir?
Dustin Garris.
Dustin. Okay. This car hail out of Tennessee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
How long have you had it?
About 3 years. I traded a junk truck for it. It's
no kidding.
It's originally a base model. I've put everything on it, but the main reason it's here is the 2F Performance Body Kit right here.
Yes, that's what caught my eye as we were walking by with the crew.
Yep, it got painted on Wednesday, put together Thursday. I had about an hour of sleep because I had to go pick up a trailer. And then got here early in the morning, Friday.
Wow, that's the car life, and that's racing. You know, what can I tell you?
Yep.
I'm just at awe with the car. First of all, your idea with putting those body panels on and Just how did you find a source?
Well, I was on a Facebook group. I think it's Drift, the Clarksville Drift page or something. And I think Matt Sopa, he has the Mustang they modeled the kit off of.
Okay.
I think he's the only other one with the kit right now.
I've never seen one. That's why you're pioneering with this.
It's not even finished yet. I just bugged them as much as I could to get it here by Ford Fest. There's still a piece that has to go down to the bumper in the front and the back.
Right. Your little cowl. Now with this kit, was there any ground effects that came with it too, or is that a separate?
No, it's just fenders. The fenders are actually supposed to be for an angle kit for drifting.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, that'll bring us to the selection of wheels and tires you have on the car, which fit into those wheel wells so nice right now.
Yeah. I actually have 2-inch spacers all the way around.
No kidding.
Yeah. I didn't have time to spend the money on the wheels I wanted, so I just bought some cheap spacers, put them on there, and trailered the car here.
It works. It gives it a beautiful stance for that flow of the fenders and stuff like that. But let's walk to the front of the car once, because I kind of noticed some ground effects in the front and some things you did in and around the headlights there. Can you tell us what,
Yeah, that bumper is actually, I'm pretty sure it's just an eBay bumper.
Okay.
And then I had an Amazon front lip on it, but I had to buy the real one, and because that upgraded, I guess, the splitter on the bottom.
Yeah, the splitter.
Those are the same brand, and the Amazon version, you cannot fit it on there, so I had to buy, I forget what the brand is though.
Wow, didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
The addition of that scoop, was that
was on there.
Part of the package? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, take it real fast through you said it was a base model. What was the drivetrain like?
It's horrible. It's a 4.0 with the T5 transmission and 7.5 rear end.
Wow. Okay. You can't much get a 12
But it's a 5-speed. I actually, when I was selling my truck, the guy offered this to trade, and I told him no, and he kept bugging me about it. I went and test drove it, and I was like, oh, it's a 5-speed. I gotta have it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun to drive. I don't.
Now
drive
I was gonna say, and you got a good highway gear in fifth. It's not gonna put you to the poorhouse and everything, but anyhow, I'm just blown away. It has a great show appearance. I just got to ask you too, how does the rear section of this applies? But are these like Torx head fasteners?
Or riv nuts. I had to drill the hole, put them in. I had to cut because I wanted this same fitment.
Right.
This is the same fitment I had without the fender, so it would rub. So I had inside there. I had to cut it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then drilled all the holes and put riv nuts in them.
Okay. But it's a nice skin fit.
It is.
Can't complain about that. And I've always liked this roof style too.
Yeah.
Anyhow, at this point, I probably delayed you enough, but have a great show, and thank you for taking the time to show us this and talk about it, because you've made it special. You made it unique. You made it. You put your own
There's
thoughts in it.
There's a lot of custom things like the Simply Built blinkers on there. You can't really see it during the day.
Right.
I bought the tinted ones. And then Polar 66 Customs, this wicker bill right here.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then this side piece right here.
Okay.
I couldn't find those anywhere except for Polar 66 Customs. That's their Instagram.
Okay. It's good that you got the network out there to find these unique pieces, especially for this particular Mustang. I just noticed on the taillights, do you have a smoke over the red lights, or do you have a...
Those, I believe, are the Raxium. They're supposed to look like the 13 and 14 Mustangs.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have the
Kinda
sequential
cool.
and everything.
Okay. Beautiful. Oh yeah, and I just anything special with the exhaust too.
Oh yes, I think the 4.0s. This one came with single tip, and I had to get the X pipe. I think it's a pipes, X pipe, and mid pipes, and then I forget what axle backs they are, but they're GT axle backs. They fit right on the X pipe conversion.
Okay, and it bolts up. So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, I'm gonna grab a hand, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for stepping up, and both of y'all, and showing the car and being here today. And folks at home, this is what it takes to make a show. Sometimes when you're in the middle of a build, you put what you got together and bring it on. So I really admire that. So you guys enjoy and have a great show.
Thank you. You
okay.
too.
Okay, we're walking through the car show. There are so many cool Fords here and Fox body Mustangs and just good stuff that this one just sort of caught our eye. We were talking to these folks and we'll tell you who they are. Your name, sir?
Curtis McCombs,
Curtis,
out of Grayson County.
Okay, and?
Courtney Muller.
Okay, Courtney, Curtis, unexpected, I know we came up to you, but you have such a cool car with so much potential. Curtis, kind of tell us how you acquired it or found it, and then maybe your plans for it as well.
We was up toward Danville, Kentucky, and I already have a couple of Mustangs, but I was searching Marketplace. Okay. And I just happened to see it, and I'm like, well, we're kind of close to it anyway. Let's go check it out.
Take it out. Yeah, check it out.
Ended up talking to the guy for about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
That was some talk, right?
Yeah. But he was an ex-military guy, and
all right.
Yeah, he was going to LS swap it, and he had a 6.0 and everything for it, and he had some. He was getting early signs of Alzheimer's, and he wanted to get rid of the car, and kind of focus on his health more. And I don't know. I shot him an offer, and he said, "You're a nice guy." He's like, I'll let you have it for. I think I got it for $4,800, and I drove it all the way back from Danville, Kentucky, with the AC blasting all the way, so couldn't really beat that.
No, and it was everything obviously working.
Yeah, cruise control works, AC works. It's pretty solid car, but like I've had it less than a year. I've not really done anything to it yet.
Okay.
Put a set of wheels on it.
Yeah, I was just to say the wheels. Were they SBVs or like?
Yeah, SVEs.
SVE, yeah.
Late model restorations where I got them.
It's just nice. I love the offset front and back.
Yeah.
You don't have any trouble with tires rubbing or anything with that?
Yeah, it's been massaged with a.
Okay.
Yeah, BFH.
Okay. Now off camera, you're telling me a little about the history of the power plant there.
He used to daily drive the car, and he pulled the motor and transmission out of '89 Thunderbird. Mm-hmm. It was hitting the back. Okay. And that was also one of his cars from what I remember. So he was getting rid of it, so he swapped everything into this one.
Wow. Good find. Your thoughts are real fast on. You proud of your boyfriend getting that one?
Yeah, he's got quite a few of them, so I think so.
Really? How many? I just had curiosity. Because he says this is in a storage unit?
Yeah, he's got two Foxes in the storage unit, one in our garage, and then he has a 70 that's patinaed.
Okay. Ooh, 70 patinas. Yeah. Nice idea.
Yeah,
they show well.
Up here.
Yeah.
It needs a lot of work. It needs floor pans.
Well, all things in time. It's anyhow. Go ahead.
Oh, I've been telling her I need to get rid of probably 2 or 3 of them and focus on one, because that 70 Mustang would sure be cool.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. I get attached to them. Like this one was going to be a buy it, kind of fix it up and sell it thing, but now I've gotten attached to it. And
sure, I can't blame you.
Always something you want to do to them. It never ends.
And there's always a market for this era Mustang. Yeah. I mean, it's never going to lose its popularity. I don't know. And it's got a loyal following. So, anyhow, I'm going to grab a hand at this point, Curtis. Thank you so much for stepping up. We just came up and we were talking cars, and I thought these are decent folks. Let's talk to them about this car, and it worked out real well. So we appreciate it. Have a great show, and hope to see you again sometime. What the heck?
We're here every year.
Okay.
I'll bring something different next year, maybe.
Yeah, and I'll look you up.
I appreciate your time.